this is my 30-day P&L right now. I'm currently at 22,600 for 30 days. Last 7 days is 1,800. Yeah, I've been trading meme coins profitably for probably around 16 months now or so. After a while, I started using Axiom, and it's crazy because within 6 seconds of looking at a coin, I can buy in. So that's
All right, boys, we are back with a new video and we have an amazing guest today. Mr. Jay Spizzle has been trading meme coins for a while now and he does this for a living. And we're very fortunate to give him this chance because he's going to share to us basically his whole strategy and how you can make legitimate money off meme coins, be consistent with it, and actually live off of this strategy. So, Mr. Jay Spizzle, take the floor.
all right. Yeah, thank you for the kind words. Really appreciate the opportunity to be here on this channel. It's definitely an honor. Um, yeah, I've been trading meme coins profitably for probably around 16 months now or so. Pretty much since the start of Pumped Up Fund, that was the real catalyst for me. I did it before with Ethereum back in 2020. Just wasn't able to make it work out. Different ecosystem, everything, but with Solana, I found a proven strategy that works, and I'm just going to go over how I do it, the numbers, and why I've never had a weekly close trading meme coins where it wasn't profitable. So basically, this is how I do it. I trade live streamers, and I always tell people, like, if you have a strategy that's a proven method and profitable for you, then like never stop doing that. But if you want to add a strategy that works, or if you're a non-profitable trader, then you could definitely add this strategy. But what I do is I go on Pumped Out Fun and I'm looking at live coins where I'm looking for actual projects. I'm tired of the newest X news post and 50 people make a coin about it, and you're trying to find the one that's going to send. And I just have a real problem with that. Back in the day with Ethereum, people were making actual projects. They had a meme, they had a website, a Twitter, they had all Telegram, like all these things. And so what I'm looking for is I'm looking for brand new coins that are, a couple minutes old with a face. I'm looking for someone that has, a good camera, a good mic. We're talking about investing here, so I don't want to invest in someone that's using like a 2010 laptop camera. You know what I mean? Because that's what a lot of them do. Um, but what I'll do is I'll find people with a good meme, a good camera. I ask myself, like, does this guy look trustable or not? Is he talking? Is he good with his words, or is he just staring, being quiet? And what I'll do is I'll buy these coins, and a lot of times I'm actually the very first buyer or among the first buyers on these coins. And I like to buy in under 7K just because the risk to reward. I mean, it's no competition. You know, I tell people, if you're trading with one soul and you get in on a coin at 7K, like the most you can lose is like $20. And what I tell people is, you know if a coin's going to do something based off the meme and the camera, and like you almost always know. And so, I tell people if the coin just does a 3x, and you're taking one Solana and you're turning it into three Solana, well, now, you're sitting at around, 480, $500, whereas the risk is losing $20. And what I
That's
tell people,
amazing.
yeah,
Uh, that's amazing. I just wanted to ask,
yeah.
what tools are you using to execute these type of sniping trades wherein you get in the first block or the first entry of that 7K market cap? Because I think with meme coins you really need to have like a fast system laid out because you want to be the first one to buy
Yeah.
before the snipers get in.
Yep.
before the bundlers get in, because by the time they get in, it's the market cap's gonna be at like 20K, 30K. So
Yep.
you must have like a whole system laid out to
Yeah.
keep making this amount of money.
Yeah, yes, I do. So the first few months, I was actually just using like a Soulflare wallet, and I was connecting it to Pump Fund, and like I was getting screwed constantly, and losing money overnight, sleeping on my bags and stuff. But after a while, I started using Axiom, and it's crazy because within 6 seconds of looking at a coin, I can buy in. So that's the time where I click on the coin, I look at the developer that's sharing the camera, decide if they look good or not, copying the CA, going over to Axiom. I use Axiom.trade, and they have like a little lightning bolt button there. See, what it does is it copies the CA that you have, and so they have a button that all you have to do is click on it, and you have a preset amount that you want to buy in. And so, if you want to buy in with 2 Solana between 2 or 3 wallets, you click that button. If it's really bullish, you can punch in 4 Solana on 3 wallets. It's the fastest, and it is what gets me in. A lot of times being the first one.
That's a very nice strategy that you have. Like you use three wallets, and then I think that strategy would lure in more snipers or bundlers because they would see that as separate wallet buys, and I think those are one of the factors like other snipers or meme traders look at
Yeah,
when they see a moving coin. They want to
volume.
see if people are actually buying it.
Yeah.
You buying with three wallets at 7K market cap must be a game changer. I actually want to try that strategy on my next meme coin trades, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's been awesome because you know, I tell people if the most you can lose is $20 and you're profiting like let's say like $340, like on a 3x, you would have to get rugged. It's almost 20 times to make up for just one win. Just one. You would have to have 20 different people with a good meme, good face, good camera, good mic. And I tell people it's impossible. Like it's just not going to happen because if someone rugs you, you're not going to forget their face. You're going to hate them forever, and they're never going to rug you again. And if you're risking $20 only, then the reward is just so plentiful. And so like that's how I tell people I've never ended a week in the negative. I never have. And a lot of people on there, they don't even like me just because they know if there's a good live streamer, I'm already in and I was in first. And the first, that's just the benefit of the rewards being first. The early bird gets the worm. That's no hate against anyone else. It's just that's just how it is.
Yeah, you can't hate the game. Like
Yeah.
you gotta play it. So, do you track any wallets like smart money wallets or like KOLs, like Gay, Cupsy, Frank, or you're not into like wallet tracking?
No, I don't track anyone. I don't follow anyone's calls. I did have a call channel on Telegram, and I still do. I don't really even post CAs on there anymore, just because there's not enough liquidity to go around for everyone on a lot of these. Because a lot of these, you're in for a 2 or 3x, they're not really bullish, and then you're out. Whereas other times, there's been an example where we would have big influencers come in, and you get in on the ground floor of one of those, and people are actually making tens of thousands of dollars off of a couple $100. And what I tell people is like what I do every single day is I'm repeating the 4 year bull cycle, but I do it every day just because the amount of money that I'm able to make in just a single trade because it moves so fast.
Yeah, yeah. So basically the key here is you gotta be fast. You gotta I think you gotta master looking at, their socials,
Yes.
what they're live streaming, and like the narrative of that week or month, because it changes up. And I also think that, traders tend to really like these trendy narratives, and then, you
Yeah.
know, they almost die like every day. Narratives just
Yeah.
changes. And
Yeah.
can you tell me how can you like adapt and being able to spot that, hey, the narrative's changing, it'll change my strategy. What things are you looking out for, and what factors do you see in
Yeah.
when you change those?
Yeah, that's a good question because when it comes to it's a whole different ball game with live streamers. With live streamers, typically you're not making a coin on today's news. You're making a coin about like retarded degen frog with five eyes with hat or something like that. And that is a meme. Like, okay, let's just say for example, retarded degen frog with hat. That is a meme that would be good for the ages. That would have been a good meme a year ago. It'll be a good meme in a year from now. And when it comes to live streamers, you're really looking for something that's not really in the narrative. Now, like for example, right now the narrative is Jews. So you love them, you hate them. The narrative is Jews. I'm not here to side either way. But if you get like a Jewish guy come on, of course, when Jews are a narrative, a Jew's going to sin. Uh, but with the live streamers, you don't have to, and that's one of the cool things. You're just looking for a funny meme, really, and a good face. You're investing money, and you got to ask yourself like, do I trust this guy to take my investment seriously, or is he going to sit there and play video games live while he's trying to pump my bags? You get streamers on there trying to play games, and it's like that's not taking your investment very seriously. That's why gaming is bearish on live streams, actually, on Pump Fun.
Oh, I see. Hmm. Yeah, I haven't actually seen gamers, like points like that actually sends. Like they usually just die every time, and then
Yeah,
I think people there doesn't like those type of narratives. They
yeah,
want to stick with actual funny memes and stuff.
yeah.
Next question I want to ask. Since you're like buy coins at a 7K market cap and you exit really fast, what was your biggest fumble? Like you buy in at 7K, you had like a 6% supply, and then you sell at like 100K, but then the meme actually goes to like 50 or 100M or like 5M.
Yeah.
I want to know what meme was
Mm.
that?
I have
And what
fumbled.
meme?
I've fumbled six-figure bags several times. Several times. I would say probably my biggest one, and I just gotta be careful saying this person's name because they ended up being a serial rugger. But the coin was called Big J about a year ago, and I sniped 7% at like literally a 5K market cap, and I think I sold around 3% around 50 or 60K before it bonded, and held the 4%, and trying to remember exactly how the story went, but the coin overnight, and this is when I was using Soulflare. I didn't have Axiom to have sell orders that would sell for me, but it had went to like 300K overnight and back down to 30 when I woke up, and I was like, crap, I could have sold for like $12,000 up there because I still got 4%, and it ended up
Hey,
it ended up going back up to 100K. I was like, okay, I'm just going to sell there. Made like 4,000. I ended up making 5 or 6,000 on this coin. But the next throughout the day, it went back up to 350K, and I was like, crap, I could have made a lot more money. And when I woke up the next morning, it was at $5 million market cap. And so with 4% out of 5 million market cap, that's like $200,000 if I were to have dollar cost average out. And if I would have had the full 7%, that would have been 350,000 at if I sold the top. I would say that was probably my biggest fumble ever.
Yeah, but you know, you just move on because there's always gonna be new opportunities every day. That's the most fun part here on trading, you know, like if you fumble a big trade or something, like the meme coin space is fast and there's always Sendor every day, you know,
Yeah,
people call
yeah,
it
it's
like
Sendor.
Sendor, so
Sendor.
it's a very funny term, but yeah, I also wanna say like what took you from being you know, trading with small size and then losing every day to like actually realizing, hey, that there's this strategy. How did you learn it? Where did you learn it from? How did you go from that to this profitable meme coin trader?
Yeah. Well, good question. A lot of my experience with trading, like I said, came back from 2020, 2021, trading Ethereum meme coins. Now, the problem then is the contracts were so flexible. You could, the developers, they could just rug pull and not just sell their wallet, but extract all the liquidity out where you lose everything. And that was one of the biggest problems back then. And so I used the knowledge that I had learned then to like actually trade. That's when I got into the charts and all those things. And I brought it into Solana, specifically Pump Fund, where all the contracts are the same. So the dev can't pull the liquidity. They can have a dev bag 3 or 4%, which is public. You can see that. So if they sell, I don't lose everything. Like my balance will go down, but I don't lose everything. And so, for me as a trader, this gave me like a fair chance at trading. If I lose, at least I won't lose everything. I'll have a little bag to go into the next one and try again, and so on and so forth. And so when I first started, I started with $100, and I was doing $20 risks, meaning like, and I always got in at 5 or 6K even since the start because I only wanted to risk $20. And since then I've never put more money in. It's only been withdrawn, and over the past year I've been able to extract hundreds of thousands of dollars off of trading Solana meme coins.
That's amazing. All right, now I want to talk about the psychological part and like you know, revenge trading and
Oh yeah.
how do you deal with your bad days and how you deal with your, you know, most traders actually think that you only have to deal with your bad days, but you got to know as a trader you also deal with your winning days wherein you don't get cocky and then you stay level-headed and you
Yeah.
actually take profits and you know, so that the markets won't humble you. I want to know how you go on with that, how you deal with that, because you know, a lot of traders don't realize that that's a big factor in the gaming scene, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good question because there is 100% a part of it, specifically for live streams, actually. I'll give you an example. There was this coin about 8 months ago. This guy had no socials. No, he was a new guy on the platform, and he had I don't have one right now, but he had a Sharpie, and he just had a Sharpie sticking out of his nose, and the coin was called Sharpie coin. And I think I made like $300 on there. And but the coin, and this is with like a 3% bag. I pretty much probably sold at a 2x. Coin ends up going to like millions of market cap, where I could have made at a million with 3%. That's $30,000. And so like the normal instinct is like, okay, I'm going to buy on this dip, like I coulda, shoulda, woulda, revenge trade. Same way with losses. This is what I say. When you get a win and you make a decision to get out, especially when you're in profit, just leave it. But because the next runner, it's always around the corner. It's always around the corner. you really have to you have to I mean it is really psychological because you have to teach yourself, not to get upset, not to, get too cocky at the same time. You can't have the mindset of like, oh, I just lost a trade, I'm just going to take the rest of the day off. Because if you have a proven strategy and you stick with that, the runner may be that night, and now you missed it just because you messed up one trade. And traders love to do that. They lose money, and it's like, okay, well, now I have to bet double, and then you end up losing triple, and you just can't do that.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I actually had like a crazy whiteout during the first quarter this year.
Hmm.
I made like 75K on a trade.
Wow.
It was, I don't know if you remember Pasternak. He launched like the social coin launch coin.
I didn't.
So yeah, you didn't know it, but yeah, it was the launch coin. So I bought in like um, 20 soul, I think, or 15 soul at 1M market cap, and
Yeah.
then I was very bullish at that point because we had a couple of 50 to 100M runner
Yeah.
real projects during that time, but I ended up um, losing it all because of revenge trading.
Mm.
I couldn't, I couldn't, take that. Oh my God, I lost 10K, I lost 5K, and then I went on a full tilt, bro. Full
Ooh.
tilt the whole month and ended up blowing that whole profits. I could have bought, some nice things with it, but I ended
Yeah.
up giving it all away in the market. So, but I'm on a better path now, and I moved on from that, and it really helped talking to other traders,
Yeah.
like you that, highly suggest to never revenge trade.
Yeah.
And even if you, hey, I fumbled 5K, it's okay. You still have profits, At
Yeah.
least you didn't lose. So
Yeah.
it took me a long time to realize that, bro. So right now, I'll just on my daily base hits, if I make 500, 300, great. If I lose 100, 200, then, I could make it back tomorrow, wait for a better trade,
Yeah.
and I don't want to let a losing trade get on my head now because that would only mean you know you're gonna just revenge trade, right?
Yeah.
All right. So my next question, if this is okay with you, I want to ask if you can show like a screenshot to our viewers, like the monthly P&L or your weekly P&L or your
Yeah.
daily, just to show them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to. Let me open that up real quick.
That's great. Thank you, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so this is my Axiom trading portfolio right now. Shows my active positions, but you want to know my biggest trades ever. So this is my 30-day P&L right now. I'm currently at 22,600 for 30 days. Last 7 days is 1,800. Um, my all-time, which is this is actually inaccurate because I don't have some wallets on here, some older wallets I traded with before, so they won't show up here. But it says 92,000, but it's more around 200,000 for the last 3 months that I've been using Axiom. But my biggest trade ever was Jucoin, and this was a influencer coin right here that I got on. And, this is just one of those things about being fast because, I knew it was an influencer coin. I was able to get 5.6% at $1,100. This was another coin, Super Cycle, same thing. I was actually the very first buyer on here. The dev had 50%, but he was a big influencer and ended up going to, I think, 500,000. And I was able to extract 13,000. And These were some just other like nice base hit wins that I've had. Uh, but that's why I tell people, they ask me like, when do you sell? Well, it's hard to answer that because it just depends on how bullish the dev is. If they're an influencer, I'll hold longer. If they're just some guy trying to make a coin, I'll try to get out at like a 3 or 4x.
All right. Thank you for showing that, bro.
Yeah.
I had an amazing time. Thank you for sharing everything. And I think I'm gonna lock in this week and probably gonna try your strategy. I hope that's okay, and hopefully
Yes.
I can make some money with trading new pairs that are also just live.
Yes.
And yeah, do you wanna tell the viewers where they can find you and
Yeah.
uh, see your videos?
Yeah, cool. I really appreciate you having me on here. If you guys want to follow me, my at is jspizzle crypto. Maybe there'll be a link below, maybe not. I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to put all of your socials below, bro.
All
All
right.
right,
Well,
so
thank you so much for having me on here.
thank you, bro. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye bye.